Hi guys, some of you might remember me putting this on Facebook, and several of you asked me if I'd do a video on how to make it. Well, I never make two the same, so what I've done is I've made one similar. This one. And this is a video showing how I actually go about making them. Hi guys, I put on a pipe the other day, well the other week I suppose now, which, I don't know if we can see that one there, you may remember it, one I did with the Misham insert, and about half a dozen different people asked if I could do a video on how it's done. So I thought, well, I've not done a video in a while, so yeah. As per normal, start off with my block, got it marked out. The way I mark it out is, as I've said in one of my videos, I've got these little templates which I can adjust design of on each one. Mark out the lines already on the template, and I carry that on like that onto the wood. Probably can't see so well. Mark it onto the wood, and then like that, I know exactly where my lines are all supposed to go. Draw hole, tobacco chamber, and then I can mark that onto the sides, and that'll give me all my centre lines and everything else. So what I'm going to do is sort out my chuck, put my other chuck on, get this chucked up and lined up, and then we'll come back and we'll see what we're doing after that. Right, before I do actually put this onto the lathe and get a bit of wood chucked up, I wanted to just show these chuck jaws that I actually made. See if I can get that into proper frame. Right, there it is. All they are is basically this T-shaped steel bar. Just bog basic stock. I just cut it down, drilled it for the bolts to hold it onto the actual chuck, and what I've done as well is in the centre, which is centre of the chuck, not centre of the steel bar, I put a mark so that I always know where these lines will go, and then by the time I get the tailstock into the centre up here, I know that when I drill, I'm drilling straight down that line. And it's the same for doing at this end. Where are we? It's the same for at this end. Nothing tricky. I just thought I wanted to show you those jaws because they're absolutely blinding useful for turning pipes. And like I say, it's only bog basic stock steel, so have a go. You will find them a lot easier. Okay, I've got it set up in my lathe now, in my chuck. As you can see, my little centre hole hiding just around the corner there. That all lines up. And I've now put my Jacob's chuck into my tailstock and my forcing a bit. That will then give me a flush edge to work from on here. Now I can start drilling down for the tenon and the actual outer edge of the shank down. And then after that, basically I'll turn in the part of the shank down, and then I'll turn the whole thing around and start on the actual bowl of the pipe. But it for now. Yep, I'll stick that. butterfly. Now, some of you are probably wondering how come I'm not doing the draw hole. The reason for that is because, which you know not, I should be doing the draw hole first. My bad. I like to use a 4mm on my main draw hole because most of my stems taper down to a 2 up at the button there. So, yep, bear in mind that the 4.5 is to the outside edge, the bark edge of the actual block, not to where I go with a flush cut with the portion of it. Okay, just to check we have got the right depth. Push a bit away from it. Come into there, and we're just using the metal spike on the calipers. Okay, what you might see that I've done now is I've now introduced myself a second line, which basically comes from where the draw hole is, and I've more or less tried to angle it as best I can to the centre of what would be the shank, because this will give me the way that the mouthpiece is actually going to sit in the shank itself, so that I get the curve and the bend. Because on this one I don't think I'm going to put in the extension bit of the shank. But what I'm going to do now is, same as before, as always, a little bit of masking tape. Measure the depth of the tenon. I don't know if you can see this. I'm bloody useless at making films. Depth of the tenon, give myself about a millimetre more than that. And that should give me about, might require saying that. Might go in just a next deeper, just to allow for the point on the end of the drill bit. Now theoretically this shank should either fit very snugly or just marginally loose. But there. And then that will become a rough shape of what will be my pipe. Not too bad so far. Okay, now the next thing. I know now that that is going to follow the shape that I want, so now I can start to turn this down. But as with my original, I have this tendency, I like to fit a collar on. So next thing I want to do is make sure I've got a collar that I like, and that it will both fit my pipe and my stem. Oh, these are the meerschaum inserts that I use. To made from Meerschaum originally. As many of you know, these pipes you can get from Japan. What they do is, when they finish turning these on some sort of special machine, the Japanese actually collect up all the dust, compress it back together, and make it into a new pipe using some sort of a resin, heat resistant resin. So the next time you buy a Japanese import Meerschaum pipe, you're buying the dust off of them things. Okay, next trick. Where is it? That is what I use. Originally the teeth were sort of bent in and out. I've straightened them up so that now I'll actually get a 15mm internal once I've cut that. So what I'm going to do is get this set up into my chuck, my drill chuck, and I only want to turn the end just enough to accept the collar, but I'll come back to that once I've got that end bit done and explain what else I'm doing. Okay, I've cut that, so this is no longer required now, and theoretically, if I just measure in now, down to that, and then that brings me up just about right, so that's good. So I've set up my tool rest, and now using my diamond shaped carbide cutter, which is a homemade one that I've built. It works, so I'm happy with it. All I want to do now is literally just take that back down until I can find where that stops in there, and that'll give me a starting point then for turning down the rest of the shank. Okay, as you can see, I've now turned down the front end of the shank for the collar, which now fits tightly. I won't push it on just yet. These are pretty thin steel, so it'll be difficult to get it back off without bending it, but with a bit of heat it will slide straight on and then shrink itself on instead of me using glue or anything like that. Give you an idea of the shape. That will be total shape. So all I'm doing now is I'm just gradually eating away here, and what I'm going to have to do is come in here like this and then leave that section there for when we actually turn the bowl. So I just want to creep in. I'm going to turn the tool rest around so that I can creep in from the front edge more like that. Now I'm just going to nibble away into here, getting that fairly close, but not too close, so I can finish that off with the rotary tool afterwards. And then after that it'll be a case of turning it around and we start turning and hollowing out the bowl. Okay, I've turned the shank as much as I want to now. I'm just giving it a very light sand. It's boxwood, so by the time we finish with the tools, it needs very little. But it's all going to get scratched up anyway when I shape the shank over on the sander. My next thing is I need to measure this for making a hole for it to fit, and again, bog basic calipers. Yes, I've already been at it. Basic calipers, and that measures in at 23.5. So I've got a 22mm bit, which is the nearest one that I have, but I can use that, which will allow me an extra 1mm, which is 0.5 millimetre each side of the bowl, to allow for the screw thread which is actually on the meerschaum insert. So I'm going to get on with that next, down to the right depth, and then make the 2 holes meet. And time's getting on, I expect my dinner will be ready before long. And I'll call that it for tonight, and then I'll come back tomorrow and we'll carry on. Right, I thought I'd just give you a quick look. I've bored that out now, and as you can see, a hole arrived bang on cue. I'm quite happy with that. And that's the best focus I can get, I'm afraid, but you get the idea. There it is. So yeah, that's it for today. That's my wife in the background on the phone, on my monitor, and I shall see you all tomorrow. Okay, the tobacco chamber's now drilled, and as you can see, I've got my tool rests lined up, and I'm about to make a start. I'm making a bit of a turn on the boulder. See if we can get that in. So yeah, I'll see what I can turn down, and I'll come back after. Okay, as you see, I've made a start. But before I go too much further, what I need to do, because all the time it's spinning I'm turning air, so I can't really see much apart from the shank and top of the bowl. So one of the things that I actually do is I take a Sharpie, and I'm sure our American friends will know the good old Sharpie, and I basically rough in a line down here which will flash as it spins, because I also do one on the other side. But as well as, I'll give myself a mark there, but the main one is I'll come straight across there, just eyeballing it. I always do a bit more than I actually require, so plenty of playroom going on. Let's do it straight to the chuck. But a line straight across there, on that side, over, and a line that side, so that once we turn on the lathe, as you can see, we actually do get a black line to follow. Let me just see if I can get a bit straight on. We get a black line, so we know we're not cutting any further down than that, which I've accidentally done many a time before I came up with drawing in the line. So it is a good way, and it does help, saves a lot of heartache at the other end, otherwise you end up making a whole lot of church wardens. So I'm going to carry on now, just bringing this down, and then I'm going to start shaping it and taking off the top. Just basically need to sort of taper it, if you like, slightly that way to get the overall shape, and then afterwards it'll be on the sander that I'll finish it off, which will come up with a proper shaping. Okay, I've turned the top of the bowl, as you can see. I've also turned the inside of the bowl to accept the meerschaum insert, which will just end up screwing in there very tightly. That's why I don't want to put it on just yet, otherwise I'll try and get it back out and it just won't go. As you see, the collar now fits nice, and once that's been heated that'll push on just a little more. And with shank as well, we're starting to see what should end up resembling a pipe. We're getting there slowly but surely, but for the minute that's about all I can actually do on the lathe. So I'm now going to take it off the lathe and over to the bandsaw, take off the surplus wood, most of the surplus wood, and then let's see if I can get that. and then it'll be down to sanding and filing. I'll come back after I've cut off the surplus at the bandsaw. After a quick go with the bandsaw, this is what I end up with. Next trick will be over to the sanders. I use about 2 or 3 different sanders for doing these, depending on what part I'm doing. And then after that, and then we'll see after that. One of the other things I forgot to mention is I like to put a few marker lines just to help keep central when you're doing the sanding. That way you can do some sanding on that side, say to the line or halfway to the line, flip it over and do exactly the same on the other side, and keep them in line with the centre as well. Because at the end of the day, you look at a pipe like that and it's got to look sort of central, equal on both sides. So I just thought I'd put that bit in before I actually go to the sanders. Okay, the power sanding's done, or as much as I'm going to do. And now it's on to the hand sanding. What I'll do is I'll split off just an old lump of wood that I had sitting around doing nothing, which basically will sit there like that, keeping it as stiff as you want. And then I'll take emery strip like that. It's just a case of getting down all those lumpy bits and rough edges and things that you don't particularly want. And I've decided I'm going to rusticate most of this particular one. But yeah, it's just a case of going round and round until you can get it almost as smooth as you can before the rustication process. And we'll come back to that bit in a minute. Well, as you'll see, I've done as much of the sanding as I need to do on the grounds I'm going to rusticate it. I've taped up the pieces that I don't want rusticated, and these few scratches that are left in it's not going to make any odds. Once it's rusticated, you're not going to see them at all. And what I use for rusticating is one of these little carbide bits on the end of my rotary tool, and if I just start it from there I can give you a quick demonstration. And all I basically do is I have several ways that I can do my rustication, but this is one that I actually like myself, so I'll do this one. And I'll just sort of try and work a random pattern all over it using the tape as my maximum edge. And this will take a little while, so I'll stop it right there and I'll show you once that bit's done, and I'll put a bit of stain on it, and well, I don't know if that can actually catches the light, but you'll see it more once it's actually stained. So we'll come back. Okay, couple of coats of stain, and just letting it dry. Once dry, I'll get some lacquer on it, and then we'll put it all together. See what it looks like.